Welcome back to the Coach Emery Show. I'm your host, Coach Emery, aka Emery McMillan. And today I have with me a young filmmaker who was making his name, doing his thing, leaving his mark on the world already. And I'm excited to talk to him today. His name is Khalil Carr. So Khalil, go ahead, introduce yourself, and I'm gonna jump in with a bunch of questions like I always do.
First of all, thank you for letting me be a part of this project and this show. It's amazing to get this opportunity. But guys, I'm Khalil Carr. Like you already said, I'm a 19-year-old filmmaker who just executive produced his first project. I wrote the project and I also acted in the project, which is pretty good. It took some time, but I got there. Buffalo native, of course. Go Bills. Yeah, that's. I'm not as interested. I don't know. I am. I do know. So, but I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad for you guys to be able to see this happen.
I'm excited for him as well because Khalil and I have some people in common. One of the people that he works with is a guy I know named A.K. Reed, filmmaker, music producer, painter, artist, complete Renaissance man. If you think Renaissance, you think 1920s, and the person who did everything. A.K. Reed is one of those people. So it's amazing to see that you work with him because you're gonna get so much information off set. You know what I mean? You're gonna get life information because that's just how he is. He doesn't know how to be any other way. So what I want to ask you, the first question is, what made you know you wanted to make films?
Oh, so I know exactly when this moment happened because I believe that's when my life got an answer. I remember I was like 15, 14, 15, and I always love entertainment. I love making people laugh, and I love making people smile, period. So I was like, can I sing? No. Can I rap? No. And it was just a question like, what do you want to do? Like your joy comes from entertaining people. So what are you going to do? And so immediately I always hear my teachers like, are you an actor? Are you a lawyer? Are you this? Are you something in communications where you can display your voice and your personality? And I always said, no, 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 no. And then I watched the movie and I watched the BTS and I watched behind the scenes. I saw how much fun they were having. I was like, maybe just something I want to do. So I dabbled in it a little bit and I started doing YouTube videos. And I was like, I want to be an actor. This is something I want to be an actor. I want to create. When I did my YouTube videos, I may have been in the front center of them being the actor, but I was behind them like, guys, we're doing this one. We're going to this location. All right, I don't like that. We're doing it again. My friend was like, oh my God, dude, like, what's your problem? I'm like, I love this. This is what I want to do. Right. And if you guys are not helping me, then you're not. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, that's when it really just sparked up. It was like, this is acting, this is filmmaking. YouTube videos, when it's directing that and telling people what to do just from a skit. I knew that was what I really wanted to do.
Dude, that's amazing, man. What is the project that you were working on when that light bulb clicked for you?
The project I was working on, I just did a project, but a project that pushed me to get to that was the project I did with A.K. Reed and Deuce King. Was the Hunger Pangs project. I sat and I used to watch videos on BTS. You know how like DVDs used to have like the DVD, then it had the BTS DVD, and it was just the big everything. And I've always watched it, but to actually be on a set was when I was with A.K. Reed and Hunger Pangs, and I watched how he directed. And I watched how they didn't have scripts. And he said, "Y'all say this, y'all be yourselves, y'all act." And I just was like, this is so interesting and so fun. And I stayed the whole time. Like it wasn't my part. And as I'm behind the camera, everybody else is talking over there in the other room. I'm behind A.K. Reed, like, that's so cool. And I'm like, everybody quiet on the set. I'm like, shh, gotta be quiet. So I was just definitely just in that zone. And that's when I was like, this is what I want to do. And I built something up for years and years. And I finally was able to do a project this summer. The past summer just did, or the summer we're in right now. And that's what kind of pushed that project with A.K. Reed.
And what's the name of that project you did?
Hunger Pain. Oh, the one that I just did?
Yeah, the one you just did.
Levi. So Levi is a project I just filmed with my team. I wrote it, and man, I just looked at the footage yesterday. I was like, this is amazing. Like tears almost went to my eyes because I was like, this is a project that I made. This is a project that me and my team worked tirelessly on, and this is the project I wrote. This is the project I wrote with my partner Tiana, and I was like, this is real. So I just did a project and it was huge, and it got a lot of good reception when it came to like casting and people want to be involved in it. And it just was a huge, huge step to what's going to happen and soon with me.
Dude, that's amazing. How does that feel? That moment when you put something together and you're not really sure how it's gonna work just yet, right? And then you put it out there and the reception is better than what you thought. How does that feel to you?
It honestly is a distinctive feeling. It's very interesting because it's an uncomfortable feeling. And I told my friends this, and I told my team this. They were like, we were all having conversations like, this is not normal. Khalil, you're asking us to do this, that, and third. I'm like, we're in this era and season of uncomfortability. It's not normal for anybody at our age or just to just do a movie. I say like this is the season of being uncomfortable, and so the feeling of actually becoming uncomfortable, but the reception being having a comfort to it is two worlds colliding that I never thought could collide. And I just was like, this is not my zone, but this is my zone, and I love the feeling of it, and I love what happens after I finish. It's like a drug. Like it's like you don't want to do it, and you know it's a little like it's hard, it's gonna hurt you, but you feel good after. You know what I mean? You get that good feeling. So it's a feeling I can't describe. And if anybody tell you like I just was in awe, like I never like reacted so much as I did yesterday. Like I literally backed out my chair and I just had my hands on my mouth like this, and I have my smile with my ears. And I was like, this is insane. And the feeling I can't even describe, but I love that feeling. It was a great feeling.
Dude, that's amazing. And it's amazing to me to hear you express that feeling for multiple reasons. Number one, because just listening to you talk, I can tell that that's not the first time. I mean, not the last time you're going to get that feeling. That's probably like when you 10 years from now, you'll probably have that feeling hundreds of times, because I feel like the work ethic that you're putting in is incredible. And the way you lead into your story is incredible. And the fact that you are understanding one of the most complicated concepts about just life, period, is finding your footing in that discomfort. That's one of the most complex things to understand, and it holds so many people back. So now that you at 19 got that, sky is the limit, man. So I'm excited about that. How was it received to I know you said a lot of your friends are like, yo, you're being, hard on us right now or this and that, but how was it was received to your friends and family when you told them I'm going into filmmaking? Like, what were the responses you got?
Honestly, it was because I'm always doing every year I'm doing something crazy. Every year I'm doing something out of the ordinary. And again, that's a part of me breaking those generational curses and those like norms. And immediately when I said that to my mom and everybody, they're like, okay. Like they just, it wasn't like they didn't believe in it, but they just were so like, okay, I'm not gonna stop him. I'm not gonna be devil's advocate, because it's hard with a lot of people. Like they try to go against me, like, don't you think you need this? Don't you think you need that? And sometimes I shut people down, like, you're right, not me. And they know that. So I feel like the best response they can say is okay. Because regardless of what they say, it's gonna automatically be progress. And my friends received it well. They were like, I want to help you. And I'm happy I built that space with my friends, because some people and some friend groups don't have that comfortable space where they can do what they want and their friends be there 100% to support. And my friends were there 100%. When cast didn't show up, like extras, I did a whole extra casting call. I was like, guys, come here. It had like 100 likes. So I'm thinking 100 people gonna show up. 0 people showed up. 0 people showed up. And my friend said, we're on the way. I'm bringing this person. And it literally made me feel great. So it was received well within my group. And that's the energy that you should always surround yourself with. Because 2 years ago, I couldn't say that those group of people would have done that. I got rid of some people and I added some people that I knew in my group will help me become successful as I can help them. So it was received great from everybody around me. And that's good.
Dude, that's again, listen, it's hard for me to listen to you and watch you respond to these questions and listen to you and know that you're 19, because again, that's another amazing lesson, right? You proactively got people out of your space, brought in new people. And when you needed them in the clutch, right, it wasn't that typical story you get like, man, nobody was there. No, everybody was there. Right. everybody was there because you did the work beforehand. And that's again, another amazing thing that sets you apart from a lot of people your age and way older. There's people well into their 50s that don't get that concept just yet, still hanging out with people who never brought them any benefit or they really can't benefit them. You know, it that's definitely has to be two ways. So the fact that you understand that concept is super, super dope to me. I love listening to you speak, and I love the catalog that you're building right now. I got another question about the work that you've done so far. And this one is kind of interesting to me. What's a character that you wrote or worked with on either your film, AK Reed's film, or either one, that you can't get out of your head? What's a character that you find yourself quoting their lines or saying that stuff to people when you're just talking normal? What's a character that you always go back to?
I played a bunch of characters, but I noticed, and this may be like a cliche answer, but like I noticed that every character that I've played is me. Like I've noticed a lot of characters I've played is me. Like they'll give me a script. Like I worked on this one project, Bitter. They gave me a script, and they said the guy is supposed to be 35 years old. You're 18. This is what we want. This is what we want. Da, 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 da. I said okay. I came back and I did something totally different, and they didn't say anything because they really loved it. And I had I just was like, I didn't want to destroy the integrity of the project, but I knew that it was going to be me regardless. So I played myself a lot. But the character that I resonate with the most was the project I just did was Levi. I was more comfortable. I feel like I had more executive power there. So I knew that if I was able to do me, that it was not a lot of people that could tell me otherwise. Not in a like, oh, egotistical way, but I know that this is something I wrote. I know who the character is, and it's constant. Like me and my partner, Tiana, who helped me write the project, she's like, we would literally walk around and say like stuff from the script all the time, and we'll just laugh out, bust out laughing, like, yo, dude, shut up. And nobody would get it. They're like, what are they talking about? So I think this last project, Levi, is the one that I actually like resonated with the most and what I consistently think about, because the lines I read is a lot. It's a lot, but yeah, Levi.
What was your character? Was that the character's name, Levi?
Yeah, the character name was Levi. The project name was Levi. And he was the main character, of course.
Yo, that's dope.
But yeah, that's who I really am.
That's really cool. So, as being a filmmaker, being now being a writer, right, a script writer, set director, all these things, you're doing all these things, right? When you watch television, do you see it the same as before you got into this?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I see the mess ups. I see the extras, not because I've been an extra and I've guided extras. And on set, I don't know if you know, but on set, extras are supposed to be quiet. They're not supposed to talk. So if you ever see like a show and the extras are like, they're not saying anything. They're literally mouthing words off. And I'm just looking at it like, this is so weird. I know they're not saying nothing. And then you can see the lighting and you can see this and you can see everything, and it just destroys it. But you still love the craft of it and how everybody came together and made this art. And so I may be a little judgmental with it, but I still give everybody their props because I know filmmaking is not easy. If you had $100 budget, if you had a $20 million budget, I know it's not easy regardless. And I know that it takes so much. So I look at it and I give everybody respect when they do a project. I go in it with already like, you have my respect, but let's see if you can get my my love and my everything else when that comes into it. So
I like that a lot, man. And I notice sometimes, like when I watch shows, I'll notice little things. I'm not in the film at all. I'll notice little things, like for instance, if somebody has a cup, right? Like the generic coffee cup, and they tip it a little bit to sip, like a little bit. And then like a couple minutes later, they like moving around with the cup, and I'm like,
with the cup, and it's nothing.
You realize you just took a tiny sip, like it was full, right? Like so, those kind of things just like stand out to me. So I'm glad that you pick up on different things and are able to incorporate the opposite side of those mistakes into what you do.
Yeah,
that's really dope. So when people talk to you about working on a film, right? When they approach you or when you approach them about a film. Do you feel, does age play a role in it when you're in these rooms? Does it at this point, does it matter to you? Like, do you walk in and that's not a factor, or is that part of like what you lead with?
When I enter any room with filmmaking, I'm probably the youngest in the room. And I think a lot of the filmmakers that are like upcoming in Buffalo, if you're young, you kind of know, it's like who you know. Like in Buffalo, period, is who you know. So a lot of the filmmakers in Buffalo that are prominent that will be able to get me a huge opportunity are way older than me. And that was a problem I felt with when I started working on my project, is that I try to look for a lot of people who knew film, and then they were like, oh, well, they just didn't take me serious. You know what I mean? They didn't take me serious, my age serious. They looked at me, they probably went to my Facebook, was like, this kid's not serious about what he's doing. So I had to work with younger people, and my whole crew was young. Like all the actors that came on, and some people that we hired, like, because I'm like, oh, like, let me talk money, because if you know, that's when we're gonna get people on the set. They're like, who's the director? And then we have a female director. Her name is Eula, and I think she's in her early 20s. And they're like, and she's like, I'm the director. How you doing? Because first they were like, who is the director? Who is he? And then she walked around, I was like, oh, I'm the director. And we're young, and our whole crew was young. And I just thought I think it's very cool that everybody in my crew is young. But when you really step into those rooms, they don't look like us. They're not our age. That's why a lot of young people move out of Buffalo. They go to LA, they go somewhere else, because that's where they're greeted. Because people out there love young people. But in Buffalo, it's a lot of, no, you know, I want this to be professional. I want this to be like how the 2000s was, the 80s, the 90s. And you're like, okay, bye. You know, I don't have, you can't do much with that. So,
right.
I hope I answered that correctly.
No, you did.
Okay.
Because that sets me up for my next question too. So you talked about the relocation. You talked about, you know, leaving the area. Right now, you're currently still in Buffalo, right?
Correct.
So do you feel that you are, because of the people that you've worked with and because of the name you made for yourself, do you feel like that is kind of changing for you, being more trusted, being more, when you go in a room, do you feel like it's a little bit different for you than some nobody person?
Absolutely. I think in the last like few months, I went from being like, I feel like my whole aura has changed when I walk into rooms because of how serious people take me now. I got a lot of people reached out to me, like they want to do this story on me, do this, do that, and I get so much respect, and I think that's awesome because I've definitely worked for it, and I really want to build my mark in Buffalo. So I want to do as much work in Buffalo before I do anything else, and I want to bring Buffalo with me anywhere I go. So if I move to LA, I want Buffalo to be 100. Like when the Bills go to the Rams, and how y'all be on social media, like go Bills. That's how I want everybody to be when it comes to me when I move. So I want to build everything here, and I want to do it the best way I can. And I don't know. I just feel like I've built a new Khalil, and I've built not a new Khalil. I've built. Now I won't say new because I'm the same Khalil, but I've become stronger. I've become more confident. I've become more respected, and I think I'm noticing that, and I love that because I got so much more work to do, and I got so much more to do. So people's eyes are on me at this moment. Keep your eyes on me because there's so much more coming this way, coming your way. You know.
That's dope. I love that, man. So you just finished Levi, right? You worked with AK Reed on Hunger Pains. Are you working with him on any other projects?
I am. So I actually talked to them. So they just did Conflicted 2, where they did the casting for Conflicted 2. After I posted my movie, I've always reached out to AK Reed and Deuce King. I said, Deuce King producer, AK Reed the director, and I always reach out to them like, hey guys, what's the next project? And they're like, oh, we want you to come along. And things kind of like never like match up because they end up going to Atlanta, and you know they're just really busy. And again, when you're at that spot in the city, when you are like in film and you're very prominent, when a 17-year-old kid comes to you and kind of asks you, you don't really, you give them attention, but you don't know how serious they are because there's so many of them. It's so many of them that comes just to say, oh, I was an AK Reed film, and they don't care about acting or the art. And so what I had to do was make my own project to let them know how serious I was about my craft. And so I reached out to Deuce King. I said, I did a film. I remember y'all was like, I need you to do this. You know, you want to be a part of the team, you got to be serious. And is this serious? And I kind of was like, I did this, and I did a feature film. I did this, and they were shocked. They were like, this is amazing. We want to bring you a part of the team. So I really want to act in their next project, but they really want me behind the scenes. So it is confirmed that I will be working with them, with Benny the Butcher, Deuce King, AK Reed in the next project. Hopefully, I don't want to give too much information. I don't know when they're projecting the shoot, but I think it's spring of next year. They had almost more than 1,000 people show up at the casting call, and I was a judge there. And I was sitting there like, this is overwhelming. He was like, this is what you wanted. And I'm like, you're right. You're right. This is what I wanted. And it was consistent. And hopefully it's going to be so much work. Hopefully it's not the end of the story. We talked the other day and I said, Deuce, I'm ready to work. He's not ready for you to work. I'm ready for you to show me stuff as I can show you stuff. And AK Reed as well is ready to work with the team that worked on that project. because they're inspired and we're inspired by them. So us collaborating very soon is confirmed. So yes, I will be on the next project, hopefully.
That's amazing, man. And again, like I said, from knowing him personally and just knowing his love for art, those conversations he's having with you, he's feeling how you're feeling. Right. We're like brothers. So I know, you know what I'm saying? Like I know this guy personally. And I know that the excitement that we get when we talk about creating anything, it could be a story, it could be a book, it could be a film, it could be a song. It doesn't matter. Right. I have an actual, well, it's probably going to glare. I can't even show it right now, but I have one of his pieces of art that he did 20 years ago when he was about your age. And we had a book signing and art expo recently, and he was signing, you know, pictures, and everybody was like, yo, you know, where is this from? He's like, this is 20 years ago. I had to get it off of a flash drive and print them off. This is the kind of stuff that 20 years later, these conversations and the work you did on this film, when you're not, you know, when you're 39, you're going to look back and be like, yo, I got films I haven't even released yet. I got stuff that, you know, so it's things like that when you talk to someone like him, and I know Deuce, but I don't know him that well. I know AK Reed more. And when you talk to him and he gets to see that you're serious, that's a connection that you're going to have, I believe, for life. That's not something that's going to fade away. And, you know, the national connections that he has, they're going to help you building and going forward, and in the places that you do go. When you do go to Cali, you do go to, you know, Miami or wherever you end up at, you know, those relationships that you build here, especially the ones you build with people like that, are going to be very, very strong. So
absolutely, kudos
to you for doing all of what you're doing already, man. I want to talk about some hypotheticals and some future stuff. Let's talk about who you would love to work with. If you could pick up the phone right now and go on your phone and dial anybody's number anywhere in the world, no questions asked, they're gonna do it. Who would you want in your next film?
As in actors or filmmakers or anybody?
As an actor.
Actor? Now, I might have a little list for you. So I want my mother in my next project to be either Monique, because she reminds me of my mother a lot, or Viola Davis. And those are two separate sides of the spectrum, but Monique brings this realness to like a cultural Black woman that I kind of grew up with. And the way she acts is like, it's not forced like other, you know, if you ever saw like now I don't want to say no names, but like a other actress, like they'll put on a Black woman, they'll be like, and they're like, you know, it's just like really forced. But Monique,
it's not organic.
Monique's make you feel like this is comfortable. This is like, I know this lady. And then Viola Davis, right. You know what I mean? She's one of the best actresses to ever walk Earth. And I just think that her presence in a project with me would be insurmountable. So, but when it comes to other people, that I would love to work with Zendaya. I would love to work with, I mean, everybody. Like I'm not opposed to like working with anybody. I think that's what's great with acting is I'm willing to work with anybody. But those three women, I think, are really great, and I think they could bring a lot out of me. And I'm maybe blanking, but it's probably more. But like, I would love to work with The Rock, even though he's not like the cream of the crop of the best actors. I think he's funny. I think he brings so much personality, and I think us like working together, that'll be a box office hit.
Dude, wow. Okay. I like that. I like that. And I love that the first person you mentioned was your mom, man, because I was going to ask you, you know, again, like I told you before, I don't really get into personal stuff, but you opened that door. What was that like experiencing, you know, again, like you're 19 right now, so you're still growing up, right? You're still being parented, you know, what was it like, and what influence on this part of your life did her treatment towards you give you? Like, how did this impact, you know, that?
My mother has always been somebody that's hardworking. And I noticed, like, my mom was a single mom, and she would catch the bus to bring us like cupcakes at school. Like, my mom really is a superwoman. And so I think what affects me compared to like watching her was how my mom handled things. She handled stress really well. Like, even though she would like break down and cry, I think my mom is somebody who's very strong. She lost her mother, her brother. She lost everybody in her household. Like, if me If my mom died, that'd be everybody in my household. So my mom lost everybody. All she had was us. So I think me watching her be able to be as resilient, I think that always resonated with like Khalil. My mom is the strong. Like you have somebody that's very strong. You have somebody that's resilient who can like this is the beacon of that. This is the pinnacle of that. You have somebody in your household that is that. So once you're going through your troubles, once you're going through, you're mad because somebody didn't do this or this, and you just let that ruin your day. Understand that. Look at your mother. You know, she went through so much more to be able to put food on the table for y'all. So I look at her and I'm like, you are Superwoman, and I really want to be Superman. So I honestly, I look at her so much in that realm, and she's somebody who sets boundaries a lot. And I learned that as a kid. Is like, I early on, I always set boundaries. Like I would not have somebody in my space that's messing up my energy. My mom was always big on that. My mom, if it's family, if it's friends, if you are messing up my energy, if you're speaking negatively about me, speaking negatively about my family, if you're judging this, judging that, we don't need you in the circle. And I learned that with my friends. I learned that with my work. There's just no way no one can tell me about myself or like treat me such a way, and I will allow that. And I learned that from my mom. And I'm not just, it's not too tough on it because I'm not like somebody that's hard to work with. But I think it's important that I'm treated well because I'm a human being and I care about myself and I know my worth. And I know that because my mom knows her worth. And when it comes to a man, when it comes to family, my mom knows her worth. And I know that, and I learned that from her. And I can put that into my work.
Dang, man, you just, sheesh. I'm blown away right now, man. Like, you answered so many questions in that one question because I was, kind of diving into why you felt that, that Monique, reference, and you said she's funny, but she's serious, and then you just gave me that, and it's just like, wow, man, like I can kind of see now why you have this mode that you have that you can get into and exist in, like being 19, a lot of people just want to play or figure out life or whatever, and you're like, nah, I'm trying to figure out like how to get this next film made. Like
exactly.
So that's amazing, and I love that. Excuse me, I love that for you, not just for you, but for the world. And I love that for her to be able to see that at such a young age, that you're showing her, representation of what she instilled in you, right? Being able to bring that to life and letting her watch you work with legends and celebrities, and then put your own work on the screen and just really make an impact on the world and in your circle specifically, but in the world, right? You never really know how big something that you work on is going to become. A good friend of mine, Jesse Ray Miller, he's a musician, and he works with I believe, a major gospel singer, right? But he made a post, and he was sharing this with me on the show. He made a post, and the post got about 20 likes. And he was kind of like, 20 likes. I put my hard, work and time into this, and it got 20 likes. One of those likes was a major gospel artist. And now he works on a project with that artist, but I believe it's Marvin Sapp. I'm pretty sure it's Marvin Sapp. But he's working on this project based on a post that got 20 likes, right? So you never know who's going to see what you create, and you never know how they're going to come across it and how that's going to change your whole life. So I'm just excited to see that for you, because there's so much going on right now that you're involved in. I can't wait to check out Levi, man. I can't wait to watch that. Like, you gotta, but I'm gonna stop right here. I want you to tell everybody how they can watch Levi.
So, well, first we gotta edit it.
Okay.
But Levi will be premiered 2023. Because we just wrapped filming not too long ago. It will be premiered 2023. We're thinking spring. We're gonna probably announce the date soon, like the exact day, time, whatever. We're shooting for the Rivera Theater. It seats 1,100 people. My team looked at me like I was crazy. I said, we're gonna sell out 1,100 seats.
You are.
And I told them that's what I'm shooting for. But if anything changes, I will keep everybody updated. But it is premiered to release in 2023.
Okay. So now I have a personal favor to ask you, right?
What's up?
Right before it comes out, I want you to come back to the show.
Yeah.
And I want an exclusive clip that nobody else is going to see. That I can play.
No, I got you. Seriously. Okay. That's funny because never mind. Yes, I got you. I got you. I got you. Of course.
I want that, and I want to celebrate that with you. I want to honor you on that episode. Number one, that you did it, that it's completed, that you're finished. Number one. Number two, I also want to let the world know, and anybody who's in my circle, anybody who comes across my show, that this is where they need to be, right? This is the place they need to be. They need to be in that 1,100 person sold out space watching that film that was created by you and your team who worked hard and pulled it together when other people didn't show up. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that I do whatever I can to help that go as far as it can. I know it's going to go far already, but, you know, I would love to be, you know, another accelerator for it. So kudos to you and congratulations in advance, man. I'm excited already. Dang, I got so many more questions, but I'm going to jump into a different part of this right now. So
gotcha.
Next question I have for you is this. As a filmmaker, and this is the last question I got for you about other people's films. As a filmmaker, what is one movie that you watch from start to finish and your mouth is like, yo, that was perfect?
No, this is not a good question. Okay, that was a good question.
If you want to pass, you can. I don't want you to mess up no future connections.
Because a lot of people, my team asked me this. We was on break, and they're all talking about like this movie. And do you know what I said? I told them white chicks. They looked at me and said, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I love white chicks." I don't know. It's funny, and it's the funniest movie I've ever watched in my life. But a movie that actually like, that's a hard question because I'm really like a habitual watch for me is white chicks. Like if I'm going to sleep, I'm putting on white chicks. And you know, I know that script from A to Z. But like a good film, I'm a big Marvel fan. I think they've been doing good. I think Endgame really is what drew my emotions everywhere. Like even though it was and Black Panther, like a lot of the Marvel films have really, because I was always like a kid who cared about comic books, and to see representation of Black Panther touched me in a different way. I was like, this is a superhero for us. Like even though he's always been around, for them to put that story behind it and that feel behind it, I really felt something with that. Same thing with the Marvel movies a few years ago. I just was like, this is great. This is a masterpiece. Not a lot of movies do that to me. Like, I watch movies, I'm like, that was good, or that was cool. I respect that, but those movies really did make me feel a type of way. So that may be an odd answer as a filmmaker, because a lot of filmmakers are like, oh, did you watch the Titanic and the Bodyguard and the this and that? And I'm just like, I have, but it's something that these movies have done to me that some others don't.
Well, I'm not gonna knock that at all, because I promise you there was a time in my life, a span of probably maybe 2 or 3 years, where I watched white chicks probably once every 2 weeks. So I'm not gonna lie. I think that they did a really good job of taming the wild, uncontrollable sides of both of those characters, right? Because if you watch them, they kind of get reckless a lot in most other things. And for some reason, whoever directed this film was able to get them to the point where it was funny and getting crazy and then stop.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did that really, really well. And so I honestly can see where that, why that movie is one of those movies for you, because it was well put together. It gets really close to the edge a lot of times, and then it gets back. So I definitely can understand that. As far as Marvel movies, we can have a whole episode about Marvel movies, man, because I got questions. I don't even want to. I don't even want to do it. I don't want to do it because I have some really. I'm a disgruntled Marvel fan. I love the movies. Endgame is kind of where it kind of starts to fall off for me.
Really?
Yeah, Endgame, it kind of starts to fall. I like the shows. The spinoff shows.
Oh, the next phases.
But the next phases of the movies, I really don't feel like I love it. Right. But I'm gonna leave it right there. If you got something to share about that, you can. But I don't really love it yet.
I would love to respond, because I know exactly what everybody's feeling that way right now. Because it's like, I think the success of the trilogy, or was it wasn't a trilogy, it was like that era of that phase of all those Avengers and the superheroes, it was long overdue for those. And so I think that success of that was like, oh, let's do it. And it felt a little bit rushed. It did. It felt like they were trying to put something out. And I do think that I do agree with some of that. Like, I didn't really get WandaVision, and a lot of people got mad at me. They're like, oh, you don't know comic books. I'm like, I know comic books. I just was a little confused. Like, I don't know. I was falling asleep. I was like, nah. So the other shows and the movies that are coming out now are a little not the best. Like, but I feel like they're going for something big, and I feel like they're just trying to hold us off for something that's going to be pretty big, and I'm ready. So
I'm ready too, man. I'm ready too. Speaking of what's coming next, are you excited for Black Panther 2?
Oh yes, I'm ready. Dude. I'm ready for the emotions.
I'm ready for the
emotions to roll. I want to see what they're going to do. They always pull something out because I know Chadwick Boseman passed away, and I just want to see what they will do with that. And I want to see how much they will pay tribute to him and how awesome that will be. So I think whoever takes creative direction and making that Passover good, I want to see how they do that. And I think I'm going to be the first one there.
Yeah. Listen, that film right there, man, is such a long anticipated. Honestly, I feel like they don't even have to do a trailer. They don't even have to do a trailer. They're gonna sell out. They're gonna sell out. All you gotta do is like, yo, it's coming out this day. No trailer, no nothing.
I'm there.
I love the trailer that they got, but it left a lot to the imagination. It also left a big question. Like, you see the Black Panther suit. Question is, who is Black Panther? We kind of know who was gonna take it, but we don't know if that's confirmed just yet. And it's like, ooh, okay.
Marvel loves to play. They have a lot to play with.
Yes.
So
yes, and then they had all the people in there with the white hair, and now we're talking about bringing Storm into the mix because Storm and T'Challa were married. Like, it's a lot that people don't really know.
Storm is that. Listen, I go all day about Storm because Storm was also that. Even though she was, I don't care women or male, she was like that figure. And I would love to see them start bringing X-Men in. And Storm, I love X-Men. Like, Avengers cool, but I'm a hard X-Men fan because that was the first comic book I picked up was X-Men. And then I saw Storm, and I was like, I saw Wolverine, and I saw Juggernaut. I'm like,
yeah. It's major how they incorporated the two, man. Because I don't know if you caught. I mean, I didn't catch this until like a year or two later that they borrowed from X-Men in Age of Ultron when they brought Quicksilver and Wanda. Wanda and Quicksilver are twins from X-Men.
Yeah.
They're twins from X-Men. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly. So people didn't really, I don't think that people caught that. And some people caught it. I'm sure some people caught it, but most people, I don't know if they caught it because then a year later did a movie with Quicksilver and it was a completely different guy. So I didn't catch that right away. But they got the rights to Sony now, so they could do whatever they need to do with that. So my next section of this show is real rapid fire. I'm about to go real rapid fire with you.
Okay.
So hope you're ready. Ready?
I am.
Cool. All right. Since you're a filmmaker, I'm gonna make it interesting for you. So first question is, what is one piece of advice that you would give to somebody who was looking to build their own thing from the ground up, like you're doing right now, like you've already started to do? What's one piece of advice you would give to somebody who's looking to do that? And tie that into like an experience you had that kind of makes that drive that point
home. One piece of advice. I got a lot of pieces of advice, but all together, find a team, find people that love what you do. If you can't find that don't give up on that. Do it. I always say that to people. They'll come up to me with ideas. I want to do music. I want to do this. I want to do that. Do it. It's all you got to do is do it. Because the worst that can happen is nothing. Because you did it. You were better than you were yesterday. You actually did it. So do it. If you want to do film and you want to be an actor, you want to be a director, you want to be a producer, do it. Like, just do it. Like, I'm telling you, your life is in your hands. And I feel like you have so much control and creative control. Do it.
I think that's the piece of advice right there. Because I feel like there's more. I know you got more.
It's more.
I know you got more.
Way more. But I think it generally is like, do it. Because I'm going to say, get this and get that and get this and get that. That's all that happened if actually doing that and doing the research and going on YouTube and Googling, how can I do this? And what taxes do I need to do it? Because your mind's going to start asking those questions. Right when you get ready to do that, oh, how I need a videographer. I need a director of photography. I need this, I need that, I need this. Your mind is going to start asking those questions once you do it. Right. So once you begin to do it, you'll write those stuff down. You're not just going to walk and be like, I'm doing it and just start filming. It's not going to work like that. Your mind is going to say, you need actors, you need a team, You need places. You need a script. You need that. How do I get that? Watch YouTube videos, get it all together. Boom. And it's going to happen. That's what I did. I didn't know anything about filmmaking. Like I was the actor and I was like, I need the opportunity. I want to do my own movie. I want to write. That's my passion. I did it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's so dope. And I love that piece of advice. All right. So next rapid fire question for you is this. This one is a tough one, man. I hope you're ready. If you could have slapped your name on any movie you produced or film that was made of all time, aside from what can't be white chicks. Can't be white chicks.
No, I don't want to.
If you could say, yo, I wish I would have made that movie because I would have done either it was done really well. You don't have to share which one. Either it was done really well or you feel like you could have done a better job. What movie do you watch and be like, I wish I produced that movie. I wish that I did that film.
Can it be a series?
It could be a series. Yep.
The 100. Oh my God. So The 100 is this show. I know it's rapid. Good show, great show. It was a little ups and downs, but man, if I had the creative control of that project, it would never got canceled. Like it would have probably been 20 seasons. I know it had a lot of seasons, but like I would have took it a whole different level.
That's dope. So yeah, go watch the 100, and then when Levi comes out, then y'all be able to see why he did it. Next question for you is this, and this is less of a question and more of a platform statement for you. Tell people where they can find you, find snippets of your work, find pieces of things that you've done. Just go in right now and just share who you are, how we can find you, and all of those good things.
Of course. I am Khalil Carr. You can find me on Instagram at Khalil Wonder. That's where you just find my funny pictures or like updates about something. Levi also has an Instagram page called Levi the Film. I do have Facebook. My name is Khalil Carr. I do have stuff on YouTube, but you can find all of that through my social medias and stuff. I have there's a lot of content on my social medias. I'm very transparent with all my work I do when it comes to like my clothes or when I do commercials, when I do this, I post everything on my social media platform. Everything is there. So if you just look me up on Facebook or Instagram, it's all there. And I'm just an open book with everything when it comes to interviews or commercials, or it'll be there on my page and you can watch everything there.
Boom. There it is, man. Listen, I'm excited that people are going to get to see this when they get to see this. I can't wait, man. I'm really, really proud of what you're doing. I don't know you personally yet, but I feel like that relationship is going to come.
Yes.
And any way that I could be of a resource to you or just be support, let me know, please, because I'm down. And I just want to thank you for just pushing past all the people who you had to move out the way and get into the space where you have the proper team in place and you just did it. So congratulations to you, man. Make sure you celebrate yourself for what you've already done. You know, what's to come is going to be great, but what you've already done is great as well. So definitely kudos to you. And to everybody watching, please go follow him. You got the links. He just dropped those links. Go check him out. Check out Levi the Film on Instagram. It's coming out 2023. I can't wait to check this film out because now I want to know. I want to see what he does. So go consume the information, get the content. But I want to again thank you for coming through, Khalil. I appreciate you and everybody watching. Make sure you subscribe to the show so you can see more interviews like this with dope people where I highlight and spotlight people who are doing amazing things that you may not know about. So, as always, be dope and be great. Khalil, thank you for coming through.
Thank you, seriously, for giving this platform to somebody like me, man. Seriously, before you even leave, congratulate yourself, man, because it's like this is a platform that not a lot of people have. It's a platform that not a lot. I'm talking to another Black guy right now, and like this is real. Like this is serious. Like it's important that we really do help each other. Like it's times where some people don't ever get those media outlets where it's always football, there's always sports, and there's always this. And you giving me this platform, I really do appreciate you. You're doing great. I love this show, and I want to be back. I will be back to show you clips, and I really do appreciate you, man. Honestly,
I appreciate you, Khalil, man. Like I said, likewise, we're gonna help each other, and this is definitely the beginning. So I'm excited about that. I do appreciate, all the congratulations, and let's just continue to do what we do, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody watching, y'all know how I close this thing out, man. So be dope and be great. Peace.